Welcome, welcome, welcome. Well, folks, I gotta say, we're gonna do a little bit of a different video today. It's different in the fact that we're talking about a player that's not on the Mets, but nonetheless, he's a New York player. Obviously, we're gonna be talking about Gerrit Cole, and I gotta say this. This is not good. It is not good. And I'm the type of guy. I like New York teams. I like when New York teams do well. Obviously, I'm a Mets fan. I root for our New York Mets to do well. I want the Mets to win a championship. That's my ultimate goal. But in a year where the Mets weren't really set to compete for a World Series, so to say, I mean, obviously, we hope things turn out for the best. The Yankees were that team that they were probably going to be the better New York team. Let's just be honest. Obviously, we want the Mets to be, but the New York Yankees were going for it. They were pushing all the chips to the middle of the table. Now, obviously, we saw last year when the Mets did that, it was catastrophic. The Mets had to just blow it up. But I was actually kind of, I was pulling for the Yankees to some extent, right? Like I like seeing the Yankees do well, but I don't like seeing guys get injured like this. I'm hoping that it's not a catastrophic injury. We're all hoping that it's not Tommy John, but nonetheless, it's always not good to see your ace with any type of elbow issue. That is not good, especially a guy who throws 98, 99, 100 miles per hour, a guy who's 33 years old, a guy who has 6 years left on his contract with all that money, $36 million a year. I mean, that is not good at all. Coming off a Cy Young Award year, and I mean, the Yankees were going for it, and that's where me as a baseball fan, I have to admire. So we're gonna get into some of the news around Gerrit Cole, but first, if you could help us grow our channel, support the channel, like, subscribe. If you love interesting baseball content, this is your channel. Please stick around, join the family. Okay, so to get back into Gerrit Cole, obviously he had an MRI, and we're all on pins and needles waiting for the result. And I'll tell you, this is not good for the Yankees, obviously. It's not good for New York. It's not good for baseball. It's not good for anyone, really. It's not good for pitchers. Obviously, probably the only person it's good for is Blake Snell and Jordan Montgomery. Because the reason why I say it's not good for pitchers, because pitchers, when they get to free agency, they're always looking for that big mega contract. And if this is a long term injury, this is another reason why to not give that big free agent pitcher that mega contract. And then it also makes guys like David Stearns look good, a guy who didn't invest the money, David Stearns, who didn't go out and get that mega free agent, because, you just never know. I mean, the free agents who were signed this year, Lucas Giolito, he's already injured. Obviously, if Gerrit Cole is injured, in the past we've had Jacob DeGrom, Justin Verlander was injured last year, Max Scherzer's injured. So you have a lot of these guys who are making a boatload of money injured. So really, that's why I say it's so important to develop your pitching. But back to the Yankees and Gerrit Cole, I firmly believe that this whole season was built around Gerrit Cole and built around Aaron Judge. Yankees would have never done this trading for Juan Soto, if they knew that they weren't going to have their ace, Gerrit Cole. This was all in, pedal to the metal. Let's put all the chips in the middle of the table and see where we are at the end of 2024. Hopefully, it's worth the World Series. And I'll tell you, if they don't have Gerrit Cole for the duration of the year, it will be a problem. On the good news, if he's out for 1 or 2 months, the Yankees are good enough to withstand that. They really are. Obviously, their rotation is shaky. They gave up a lot of pitching depth in the Juan Soto trade, so they're going to have to rely on guys like Stroman, Cortez, to really step up. Obviously, Rodon, and these are guys I don't really have a lot of confidence in. So you would think that if it's a long-term injury, the Yankees would have to go for a guy like Blake Snell, because that's been their philosophy this year. It's pedal to the metal. This is the year. It's kind of like, to me, a 2009 feel when they got Teixeira And when they got AJ Burnett, I mean that's really the kind of feel that it has when they made that trade for Juan Soto, not knowing if he's going to sign for the duration of the his contract. And then also too, now you hear Aaron Judge has a toe injury, and again, if they would have known there would have been anything wrong with Judge or Cole, they wouldn't have got Juan Soto. I mean, that clubhouse was supposed to be more or less a role model for Juan Soto. Yes, he has all the talent in the world, but when he was on the Padres, it was kind of like there was really no clear leader. It was kind of like the kids running the show. You have Tatis, who's had the steroid accusation. There was a lot of hoopla with that. And, Soto had a lot of pressure. Manny Machado, he had his own antics going on as well, but there wasn't a clear leader like an Aaron Judge, somebody you want to follow, like somebody you want to be like. Juan Soto had that role model, but, you just hope that Aaron Judge is going to be healthy. And obviously, back to Gerrit Cole, it all is around pitching. It all is around pitching. And then if you don't have Gerrit Cole, who is the next most reliable guy? Well, you can't rely on Rodon. And Cortez, he's had his own troubles as well. So really, who can you rely on? It really falls on the shoulder of a guy you don't want to rely on in Marcus Stroman. I mean, we've seen Marcus Stroman be very successful in New York, so under the lights, in the big stage, he can do it. But obviously, you would feel more comfortable slotting Stroman in as a 3, possibly a 4, possibly a 4. I mean, I say 3-4 because obviously you want Gerrit Cole, possibly a Blake Snell, even a Jordan Montgomery. Then you want to get to your guys like Marcus Stroman and Carlos Rodon. That's a strong rotation. But if you're down at Gerrit Cole, that is tremendous. I mean, there's really nobody who could replace Gerrit Cole. He's coming off a Cy Young Award a year. And I mean, he just learned, really. I know he's had his sticky stuff accusations, but me watching him from afar, the guy just learned how to get through adversity. He learned how to overcome the issues that he had been dealing with, all the criticism. And, it was just a sight to see last year. I mean, there was really nothing that could stop him. And this year was supposed to be the year that, he puts everything together along with the team and they make that push to the World Series. Thus, why they got Juan Soto. Thus, why Brian Cashman was comfortable making that trade and trading away all those young pitching assets. And I mean, pitching. It was a really respectable trade. I'll say respectable trade for the Padres because they weren't going to be able to sign Juan Soto. And acquiring these pitching assets in a time where pitching is so expensive, so damn expensive, and so damn hard to find. That's why you're not going to replace a Gerrit Cole. You're really not. I mean, he's he's top three pitcher. I can't really think of many guys I would put above him right now. I mean, I'm trying to look top pitchers in the game right now. Like who would be above him? And that's the thing. And even if there was somebody that you would say, oh, is better than him, like a Spencer Strider, he's not going to be available. He's not going to be available. So thus, that's going to be the issue. But it's all going to be about the result. And I'm just trying to define here. Yeah, there's really nobody I would take. There's nobody I would take right now over Gerrit Cole for 2024. So it's a huge catastrophic loss. And as a New York fan, I'm not going to be like one of those fans that say, yeah, I'm happy. I remember how it felt when Jacob DeGrom got injured, and then hearing Yankee fans, kind of make fun of that, and it didn't feel good. So I'm gonna kind of be respectful and root Gerrit Cole on and root the Yankees on, because at the end of the day, if the Yankees do well and the Mets do well, then we meet in the World Series, and then it's good for New York. That's it. They're not in our league; they're in our city, and it's more exciting when you have two teams competing at a high level. So that's all I have to say. It's early morning. I couldn't really, I was just thinking about this all night. So subscribe, and we'll update you when we hear on more information. Have a great day.